All right, let's go again. So the next biggest question I get asked is what to do after hitting level 55. First, I want to start off with thank you guys so much for making my video like so explosive. The Big Beginner's Guide. I'm glad it's been helping you guys a lot. I've been having people come into the stream and tell me it helped them a lot. So yeah, we're gonna just make more content for you guys. And so the next biggest question has always been like, okay, I hit 55. So now what do I do? And the first thing is I just hit 55 with our Aaron here. So let's go ahead and talk about that. So we already did a little bit of the work. And the first thing is gear. So level 55 gear is always going to be this set, which is the Vicarious Calling set. This has the stat bonuses that you really want. So if you check on the left side, the set effects, so extra damage to blood soul workers, the attack, the extra damage, the crit percent, and the crit damage are the two main parts that are really worth paying attention to. Getting that crit percent and that crit damage is huge because that's what we're looking for on Erwin and Haru mainly. I don't play a lot of Lily or Stella, so I'm going to kind of defect to just talking about Haru and Erwin at this point. So crit damage and crit percent is something that we're always looking for BIS, which stands for best in slot in these end game types. So you'll see these shoulders have 371 crit damage. It'd be nice if they had crit percent or attack speed. That's also something we look for. But we're building up our crit damage right now. And yeah, as you can see, we're sitting at about, let me move this over. We're sitting at about 9,000, a little under 10,000 crit damage with a 25% crit rate, which then is increased, of course, with our shade, but we'll get into that later. And then as far as jewelry goes, this is still relevant even in Korea right now. The glacial, the jeweled grave rather set is the best in the game to this date in Korea. So this is one that you can actually spend a good amount of money on. And I'll go over all the stats you want to mid-max in a later video per class. That's honestly just deserving of its own video because there's so much to go over for that. But as you can see, this all provides crit damage, crit percent, and armor break. Three really big deals for us. Obviously, the attack damage is really good, but those three are our end game goals right now. So you can see I went for attack speed, crit damage, crit percent, and move speed / attack speed on this. So yeah, that's the two main goals that we're going for endgame currently to get going with the raids. So if you guys want to, you can buy these blueprints off the market. Go to the armor blueprint here, type 55 here, 55, it doesn't really matter. Your character, so let's say we did Erwin, and then let's go ahead and turn off desktop so you guys don't display capture. There we go, just in case. So let's search Erwin here. So we're gonna go through our MK3 stuff, and here we go. So here's the first part, is the weapon. We're going full on, a weapon and all. And so the weapon would be 888k for the blueprint, and then we'd buy this, craft it with the Hondo Success, large weapon cores, and star platinums. You should have quite a few of those by the time you reach level 55. Honestly, just through running through Ruined Fortress, you should have plenty of these to craft. And then also, if you don't want to go through the hassle of buying those, there are some pretty decent farming spots for these items. So number one we're looking at is the helmet, which is in Forgotten Armory Chapter 4. So that is right down here, Forgotten Armory. So we'd go here, we'd go Chapter 4 Manic for the best possible way to get this drop. It drops the most often there. You'll see a lot of people running it at level 55, just trying to farm that blueprint. And then also we're going for shoulders. So deep core is where we go for the shoulders. Manic again, or rather episode 4. And this is where we'd farm the shoulders of this set. And then for the last part, the chest and boots both drop from Arkship Chapter 4. So those are the three places that you, if you want to just grind out the blueprints yourself, these are the best places to do it. And even if you don't pick up a blueprint, because these blueprints are specific to class, they sell really well on the market. So even if you end up not getting your own, you can still sell it really well on the market and make a little bit of profit off that. So as far as that, and then the jewelry set, a lot of people have been running the Arkship episode 4 for the jewelry. However, What I've found is that episode 2 has the easiest boss to run. Also, I have a better drop weight with the jewelry on this episode. So I recommend running episode 2 Manic with a full group, because with the full group, obviously you get bigger drop rates and such, and you can clear it a lot faster. The boss is easy, and we averaged maybe 1 to 2 a run sometimes. And yeah, this is a really good place to farm that glacial jewelry set. Again, also sells really well, so I'd recommend going there. Another thing you'll notice when you hit 55 is you get this little rank next to your name. Yours will be a D as soon as you get to 55. If you press P, we go here, and as it'll say Novice D for you, and then these gigantic numbers. So don't be too intimidated by this. Basically, what this means is you can level up from D to C to B, etc. It goes on. I can't really remember what the ladder is right now, but that is an incredible amount of EXP. So you'll get that through running raids and stuff like that. The main perk of this is it'll give you extra EXP to your alts. So while I was leveling Erwin here, and since he is my second level 55, I had a C rank from my Haru, which meant I get an extra 10% EXP as I was leveling him. You can't see it up here anymore because it's gone, but there was an extra 10% EXP. Rank D gives you an extra 5%. So it is kind of worth leveling it up, but it's a long time, and it's not really too worth going through, or it's not worth focusing on. It'll take you an incredibly long time to get to C, so don't worry about it too much. Another thing we want to talk about is the title. So I was using the Repair King Big Hands to level up. Obviously, we don't need the XP boost anymore, so there are some things that we can do. I don't have it unlocked yet, but 105 is a good one for making money, because at this point in the end game, the goal is to make money and BIS all your stuff, obviously, and the best way to do that is making money. So I have the smaller version, which is Thrifty Skinflint. This is 104, and what that does is it gives us DZ extra drops, 7.5%, so that's an extra 15%, right? So that, you know, just adding on to that whole okay, let's make extra money thing. And then once you end up collecting, I think it's 11.25 mil. Let's go ahead and check real quick. So let's see. It's not in here. Here we go. So received 7.5 million DZ. And then eventually we're going to get to 11.25 million. And that's what'll give us the 105 title, which gives us an extra, I think 15%, or no, I think it gives us an extra 20% DZ drop. So that's what I would work on now. If you're 55, you should have 104 unlocked at least. I think I unlocked it in 54 when I was running Arc Ship. So you'll most likely have it by now. It's just about picking stuff up in the dungeon. If you don't have it, you'll get it really quick running raids. And that's the best way to unlock this title. And that's what we're going to use for the rest of the time, just for farming DZ. And then let's go ahead and talk about the raids. So that is the end game dungeons. So let's go ahead. First things first is we head to Ruko Town, as we have to run the raids in order. So every single hub has a raid. Ruko Town is going to be Last Carnival. And then after that, we'll have Junk Hive. And they go in order of the cities. So Ruko Town will be Junk Hive, Candace City will be Ruko Town will be Last Carnival, Candace City will be Junk Hive, Gray City will be Bandit Highway, and Ruined Fortress will be Iron Castle. You'll see them pop up here, and that's what we're gonna start running. So that's what we're doing at this point. So you'll see Last Carnival over here. If it's white for you, there will be a red quest. It'll be given to you by Benji over here. I already got it. I already ran LC, but you'll see it's a different color. So you see up here top right, it's a red color or an orange color instead of the normal green or blue. So this is how you indicate what is the quests for raids. So to unlock them, you have to do them in order. You'll come here, you'll get the quest, you'll run Last Carnival, and you'll run it as a rookie raid. So there's two different ones. There's rookie raids, which is the normal raids, and then there is the elemental raids. So these elemental raids unlock after you do the rookie raid of that town. And then that's when you can start doing these elemental raids. Now, as you see here, there's different raids, and this correlates to Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then Sunday is a free-for-all. You can pick whatever you want. So basically, people farm these on certain days. There's a certain image. I don't have the image pulled up right now to when each elemental raid on each day, what it is. So the main one people have been going for is the Solace, and the Solace is this one. So what we end up doing is it goes backwards. So Monday is going to be IC for Solace. Tuesday is going to be Bandits Highway. Wednesday will be Junk Hive. Thursday will be, or goodness, no, I'm sorry, it starts on Tuesday. Monday and Saturday do not have Grace at all, or I'm sorry, they don't have Solace. So Tuesday is IC, Wednesday is Bandit Highway, Thursday Junk Hive, Friday is LC, and then Monday and Saturday, like I said, don't have a Grace, so you can run Sin or whichever you want to run there. And then Sunday is a free-for-all, so typically we'll run LC on Sundays as it's the easiest and quickest to run. And the reason we run those is because we get these shards. So let me go ahead and show you what these fragments of let's see, Solace look like. So these inferior Solaces sell for 54k right now. It's a little overpriced, but it's fine. This is what we're farming, and the reason we're farming these fragments of Solace is to make these. So you see it in my my weapon right now. Under the SF amplifier / soulstone, you see the Solace attack damage plus 100. So you can make these soulstones, and that is what we're going to use our slots for. Make sure you have 4 slots on your weapon. You're going to be wanting to use them all. So let me go to crafting here, and then there's a soulstones over here. So if we want to say, you know, craft, or, you know, we want to turn soulstones into another color, we can do that here. We can swap fragments. We can also create the commons and then the refined from their lower tier. So just upgrading them like you would normal mats. And then we can also grow these. So this starts at level 1 and it goes all the way up to level 9. So I double click this and you can see the requirement to get it to level 2 is 24 fragments of Solace inferior. Then it goes up to 40, then it goes up to 40 in a common, and then it goes up to 40 and 2 commons and a refined. So it just keeps going up, and as that goes up, it'll increase the damage for Solace elemental in your weapon. And the reason we've been farming Solace is because the way GC works is a little different in our version. We're closer to Korea than we are to Japan. So Solace is the kind of god element in our game. GC, all the bosses are certain elements, and there's no counter to Solace. So we run double Solace, and then I include crit damage in mine as a SF amplifier, but we can get into that later. But that is why we're running Elemental Rage right now. You can also sell it to make money. They're really good money right now if you're selling them. And yeah, so DZ wise, we're running the title. I bought a silver and gold VIP package off the market. I'm completely free to play right now, but I bought that off the market, I believe for 36 million DZ, to increase my drop rate and my DZ rate. So I get an extra 30% DZ drop, and then obviously an extra 200 EP, 20% drop chance, and then 20% probability of Grutons appearing. So it's just all really good stuff for farming endgame. And you can end up probably finding somebody who will sell it to you for DZ if you don't want to drop cash on the game. But it's typically just easier to buy cash. So those are the things I really wanted to point out. And let's see. Yeah, I think we got time for one more thing. So the way Steel Graves works, you know what? We're actually going to save that for another video. So guys, next video, we'll talk about Akasha cards, brooches, and Steel Graves. What Steel Graves is going to do. I talked about it a little bit before, but we'll talk basically about how to set up for the next raid, which is GC, which is Golden Citadel. And then, you know, how we're going to set up for that. Akasha cards, I know a lot of people asking about them, how brooches work, how costumes work, and why are we making MK3 armor. So guys, I'll catch you next time. Peace out.